Adam, wake up.
What?
We have a brand new letter from a fan who wants to know how to maintain a healthy and positive working relationship.
Hey, fuck you, Ben.
That's right. What the people?
We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake while the quality's sick. We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake while the quality's sick. We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake while the quality's sick.
Everyone's like, hey, did you see the Aurora Borealis? Did you see the Northern Lights? No, I didn't. But here's the thing. If you stare at your desk lamp long enough and then you close your eyes, you'll see some colors. This is the Grolic Saves the World. My name's Adam Caton Holland.
My name is Ben Roy.
And I'm Andrew Orvidal.
And this is a comedy podcast about bettering your world. And I guess what I'm trying to say is there's lots of ways to see beauty. You don't all have to stare at the same sky. You know what I mean? Like be an individual.
Can I just say, legally, we take no responsibility for anyone who stares at their desk lamp
What?
to see the.
I would have
aquarium.
loved if like what was that movie with the little rat, Fievel Goes West or whatever?
Yeah.
If he just sang like something about how there's beauty everywhere and you don't have to look up at the same sky as everybody else.
Yeah.
You
That
can
song about
stare
looking
at
at
a
the same
desk
moon.
lamp and see a moon of sorts.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
you can.
So when you miss me and I miss you, you stare at your desk lamp and I'll stare at my desk lamp.
And it's like
And
we're
then
under the
we'll
same
close our eyes.
moon.
And we're under
And
the
the
same
colors,
lamp.
the colors that we each see, that's our connection. That's
Yeah.
us.
Knowing that you're out there, lady, damp under your lamp and I'm under mine. That's fun.
Whoa.
Damp
Did we
under
just
your
witness
lamp?
a
Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
You are a
It's a song
lyricist.
about
I don't
a
give you
woman-
enough credit for your
Right.
your lyrics.
It's a
Thanks,
song
bud.
about a woman who's also a snake. It's
Yeah.
a woman
Damp
who's a
under
snake.
your
She's-
lamp.
She's damp under her lamp, thinking
And she's hot on a rock.
We're just two bulbs.
Hot on a rock. What a title
Yeah.
for like a song. Hot on a rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's about your skink.
Well,
I'm hot on a rock.
You can't call them skinks anymore, Andrew.
I'm sorry.
can't call
You
them
can't
skinks.
skink shame.
You can't skink shame anymore, dude.
No. And honestly, there's a power to being a skink. It's like,
There
if you want
is.
to skink it up.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've said that for a while. Like who am I? You're just looking for a rock to lay on. Don't we all want a warm rock to lay on? We will never skink shame anybody on this podcast.
And if we have skink shamed in the past, that's on us.
Yeah.
You skink on, friends.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
I mean, your tail will grow back. Relax. Okay.
Do skinks have detachable tails?
Yeah, I think they do.
Are they? I
Yeah.
thought it was. They were geckos.
Oh, you can't say that anymore either, my friend.
You cannot say geckos
Oh my
anymore
God!
either.
I'm so sorry. I am so
Yeah.
sorry. You know what? I'm with Seinfeld. You can't fucking say anything anymore.
Andrew, hit us with one more hot on a rock. You do that perfectly.
I'm
Yeah,
hot
you
on a rock. I want
Yeah,
Ben to
dude.
make the song.
I'm out on a rock. Bow, 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 bow.
You think it's about some sexy?
Bow, bow, bow. It's got to have big. Yeah, exactly.
for my cricket. Or whatever
that's
you
the
feed 'em.
giveaway.
Yeah. Do you feed? You don't even know what you feed a skink.
I think I bet they eat a
I'm going to look
cricket.
this up. While you guys push the episode forward, I'm going to look up as to whether or not.
Have you noticed that Ben's looking for excuses to use his phone in every episode now?
Why don't you shut up, Ron? You don't even know what I'm doing.
I'm going to look this up right
I
quick.
don't even
Fact
know what I'm
checking things that zero people give a fuck about. Guys, I'm
Okay,
going to check
okay,
what the
y'all.
barometric pressure is right now. Have you guys been wondering what our barometric pressure is right now? No.
Hey, do you guys know the weather next Tuesday? Hold on, let me get the 10-day up.
Well, first of all, guys, I can tell you right now, Denver's barometric pressure currently Anyway, here, listen. So Denver's barometric pressure right now is 29.87 and holding steady. Now,
No.
just
The
lost
riff,
$100.
the riff was not interested in the
the real.
actual
The riff doesn't
information.
care about the real.
Wait,
No.
well, you guys aren't betting on barometric pressure on DraftKings? I do that every morning.
Well, if you had if you had under 30 and holding, you're about to get a payday.
I had over fucking 30 like an asshole. It's May.
well-
What am I doing?
I don't know. You're reading the Farmer's Almanac. That's what you're doing. And I told you that there's no science. Anyway, y'all, skinks do detach their tail. Good call, Andrew.
See, I knew it. I didn't want to be cocky about it, but I knew.
Guys, you are listening to Skink Tank, the internet's premier
No, it's Skink Walk.
podcast.
Skink Walk.
Don't miss we've got Skink Fest coming up in Vegas this year. 3 days of stand-up comedy.
And
Legion of
and
Skinks.
a reptile show. It's a reptile show.
Louis C.K.'s headlining. Chris D'Elia's on Skink Fest this year. We got them all,
Legion
dudes.
of Skinks are here today. Anyway, well, that was a hell of a lead-in, and we learned something, and that's what's more important.
Yeah,
than
and we
Skinks can
verified it
detach
even
their
more
tails.
importantly.
Anyway, skinks for the memories, guys. But we have to move on.
Nice.
We
Oh, my
have
God.
to move on and get to the business of this episode, which, this is rapidly just turning into a can't miss advice forum, and I really think it is because of the competitive nature of it. This is competitive advice, and
so far, I find the voting to be highly sus, the voting process.
Do you?
I
Why is
moved
that?
for an electoral college system. And
no, we are not instituting one. We're finally free of one.
No, I think this populace, because what's happening is we're all becoming a slave to the mob and the tyranny of the mob. And I can't be a part of this anymore, because what's happening is you both suck each other's dinks all episode, and then I get left out in the cold, and I want some.
What's
dinks in my mouth.
happening is the listener is rapidly learning you can't give any sort of coherent advice because you're a fucking mess. 'Cause you're a
Actually,
goddamn
somebody on
mess.
Discord said that you winning made them physically ill.
Oh, someone on Discord was probably sick before they ever even logged on.
I think that is probably true, and we'll look into that. Yeah.
What was their medical history? Put it in my portal. I want to read it before I accept their
You have a
accept their
portal?
criticism. I'm
What's-
in the medical provider portal. I get I can
okay.
get all that
You get
stuff.
other people's stuff?
I get anything I want. If you guys are putting your
This is a new
medical info into the
subscription
portal,
service that Kaiser offers. Like, check out what's wrong with your neighbor.
Yeah.
If you
it's
pay
called-
$5.95
it's called
extra a
Hungry
month.
Hungry HIPAA.
I don't know what Ben ate this morning, but I feel like it was just Skittles.
Just 2 handfuls of Skittles, and he's ready to riff. Riding high on the yellow number
Come on,
5.
guys. Hungry Hungry HIPAA is pretty fucking funny to me.
That was actually great. That was actually great.
It's just
The subscription-based HIPAA where you can read your neighbor's files.
Yeah, it's
Hungry HIPAA.
Hungry Hungry HIPAA. HIPAAs kill more people than any other animal on the Serengeti. That they look friendly, but oh god. Anyway, yeah. So this is. I just want to be clear though, before we go into another challenge where we're giving advice, that you guys are not working together. That this has not become something where you two have created an alliance.
It's sad that you would even intimate
Raise
that.
the specter of that.
It's sad that you would even suggest
Yeah.
that there was some level
of
of
impropriety, because I think
corruption on our
there is.
competitive advice.
So far, I think both people have seen you guys. They know that you two have worked together so far. It's been, oh, well, I like Andrew better. That was the last time you said something like that. And then Andrew last time just said you didn't. I think you just didn't want to pick me.
I mean, you lob a grievance like that, you better be by your phone for a call from Johnny H for some slander litigation.
For people outside the country who don't know, Johnny H is Adam's lawyer father who is quite litigious.
Everyone
you're just-
inside the country knows that. He's sued everyone in the United States, but he's not gotten abroad.
You don't
yet,
just
but
throw
he's
out
angling.
accusations like Adam and I are fixing competitive advice matches. You
Okay,
don't just toss that out
I'm just saying people are watching.
without some proof. And I don't
Check
think
this
you
out
have
real
any
quick. Haven't done this in a
proof.
while. Haven't done this in a while, but you're calling our advice sus. The newest review, 5 stars, valid educational advice, they say. As a teacher used to watch Those Who Can't, I've always appreciated their satire of U.S. education. But if you're a teacher too, check out the episode of Those Who Can Give Good Advice for some unexpectedly good advice on what makes a great teacher and many solid laughs. So the reviews are already in. And if I do recollect correct, I won that episode. So people are already
collect, but you also recollect shitty, because what ended up happening is that you accused me of using the same advice on the down low. The producer of this podcast messaged me and said,
who's that? I don't know who's the producer. Who is this person?
You don't know him. He's from Canada. And
All right.
this producer, a little guy with the initials PR.
What are you talking about?
Producer Ron. Producer Don.
No,
Ron.
just let him talk.
Okay.
He needs to.
You're really in the pocket.
Let me work it
He
out.
needs to get all
Producer,
this
a little
dirt out of his
person.
brain.
Why don't you
Jesus
shut
Christ.
up, Andrew? I'm trying to get through this. Anyway,
Why don't you go shake your head? Why don't you go outside and shake your head for a minute? and
Get
then
all.
come
Get. Why
back
don't you
and
get all the
podcast?
fucking nickels out of your nose and come back in?
what does that even mean? What kind of folksy garbage is get the
It
nickels
means you got.
out of your
It means
nose?
you got nickels in your head.
Yep.
What are you chiming in, Adam?
Adam,
Like you knew what that meant.
Adam knows the thing I just made
Everyone
up.
knows the nickels. Everyone knows the nickels in the
You've
brain
never heard
thing.
that folksy
That's
dog
a thing.
shit. You've never
I'm
heard
co-signing
that.
it. No, everyone says it. I've heard it.
Go shake the nickels out of your nose.
I did just make it up,
colloquialism.
but it sounds like it's something
Yeah.
you might have heard before.
It's legit. 100% legit.
I just want you to know, America and 3 people in Australia are watching right now. So you guys need to fucking check your shit and keep this legitimate if we're really, really voting on who gives the best advice. Because last time,
what did
Producer
PRD
Ron
tell you on the
texted-
DL? What did producer Ron tell you?
PRD on the DL told me that my advice on that last episode was not close to Adam's. It was not even in the same vein as Adam's. It was not. So
whatever producer Ron has to tell you to talk you off the ledge, don't bring that into
Yes, I
other
hadn't been
episodes.
sleeping,
Whatever-
but I wasn't out on the edge.
Whatever he has to tell you to calm you down.
I was not out on the edge. I've just been having
Producer
trouble
Ron doesn't just
sleeping
edit the
about it. I
episode.
don't
He has
think
to do personality disorder therapy with you on the regular.
Yep. Ron and I go for some walks with my therapist from time to time, but I'd hardly say that that's talking me off a ledge. I mean, I was standing outside a window, and he did convince me to come back inside, and I think.
Do we have a letter this
fire
episode?
escape.
Do we have this letter?
I think
Can we
do.
read?
I think
Ben,
we
you've
do.
laid down what you need us to do. Heard.
You've tried to
Let's
stoke,
read this letter.
you've tried to stoke some sort of fire to prevent either of us from winning, because it would cast suspicion on the win. Well done, well done.
Yeah,
well,
bravo.
I want you both to know I appreciate you listening, and as soon as this episode is done, I shall go shake all the nickels out my nose.
Thank you. And how hard was that?
Ronnie D, producer Ronnie D, I believe, does have a letter for
Go
us.
ahead. Let's go ahead and raise the Ron tank and lower the shield.
He already chimed in with no ceremony. He like screamed, and we could hear him from beneath the water, which was strange. There
I
has
don't
been some
like
sort
the
of-
way it sounds.
Yeah, it was very
fuck was
disconcerting.
Don't ever do that.
Well, he got out of the tank. He got out of the tank, and he's on top of it, but he's still 100 meters.
At least he doesn't
underwater.
run. He stays close to it. I think we've broken his spirit.
What's that noise?
I don't know. I'm on the edge from keeping you off the edge.
God.
All right.
Hey, Ron.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
That's what your T-shirt
Um,
says, Ron.
So this,
Did you get that at the
yeah,
airport?
new merch just dropped. All right. Oh, you guys are in rare form on this
Oh
episode.
my God! If you mean
I don't even
fucking
know.
pink in the
I don't
middle,
even
you're
know.
correct, bud. Let's do it.
You are. You are in medium rare form. Ben. I don't even. I'm going to bring it. I'm going to read this in an earnest way, and it's going to bring the mood down. And I don't know if I want to do that.
Oh,
Wow.
no,
I don't know
keep
if
it
I wanna
going.
do it.
We're not being earnest. Whatever poor dipshit wrote in today, you're just getting
Yeah.
pure
they're fucked.
garbage.
I haven't read this email. I just I saw that it came in. You guys filed it off to the side. You said you're ready to do it. I'm going to read it verbatim and see how it goes. So this is from Anonymous. Question for the Grolix dudes. The three of you are each individually prolific,
That's right.
but also do marvelous work as a collective trio. I also work
Great
in a
episode, guys. This was fun.
Was that it? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, great letter.
I agree.
Andrew, plugs. No, what do you to keep going?
Yeah, we should stop right
I'm
there.
sorry.
But-
The edible, I ate like 40 milligrams last night.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, so you're still
now.
riding the
Daddy's
train.
got a little bit of the old tootskis running through his veins, and so he's ready to
now,
keep
Ron,
going.
keep
Sorry,
going. Just
sorry.
ignore
Keep
Ben.
going.
Ignore
Just
Ben.
ignore me.
Anonymous says they also work in a creative field with a partner. They generally enjoy working with their partner and think the two of them produce quality content as a pair, but there are certain times when they feel really frustrated. Partner is a completely different person, personally and professionally. And while our letter writer knows that these contrasts help keep their work more rounded, it's pretty annoying for our letter writer at times. Anonymous is admittedly a type A perfectionist, while their partner is vastly more of a seat of the pants, wing it type of dude. As such, the give and take of the process can bother me and detract from my enjoyment and satisfaction with the work. Here's the question. I'm curious, how have you guys made it work as long as you have? What are some of the obstacles you've had to overcome in your working relationship along the way? And how does the dynamic continue to evolve between the three of you over time? In other words, how do you keep a good working relationship in a creative field?
Wow. There's a lot of caviars to this one.
I mean,
Yeah,
if we could, great sex, okay? I'll just say it. Great.
It is.
No one caught me saying caviars, and
I did, and I ignored it.
I did, and I ignored it.
That's how you keep the working relationship
Yeah, I
functional.
did.
You don't care for it, don't acknowledge it.
Save your. All right, let's save the advice for the second half. I'm going to drop in one extra note here. The letter writer says, I swear I'm not trying to stir up Grolic shit with this question, although I predict it will.
Okay.
They're just genuinely interested in how you guys do it, and they want you to have a frank and honest discussion on the topic. Thank you for your time and all the hours of enjoyment you've given us all. Sincerely, Anonymous Guy.
Damn.
All right, that's a good one. Well, we're going to dig in Act 2.
We're going to get into it in Act 2. That's a great letter. We appreciate these letters a lot. We are experts in every field. Thank you for sending it in. We will get into this. Ben's going to shake the nickels out of his head.
Yes.
In the break.
For sure.
Nose. Well, we're in the South. You say head, and my mom's from the South, so that's how I learned it.
Do you think you guys should make a few nickels gag about going to the ad break or what?
I can't anymore. Can we lower Ron back into his fucking tank? I can't do this.
I'm trying.
I don't want to do this. Did he say he's dying? Oh, boy.
Dying.
Dying, trying. They sound the same, but we need
I think
to
he means
make
dying
a few
laughing.
nickels with an ad break.
Hey,
What an
there he
organic
is.
segue.
If you join us on Patreon, you can enjoy ad-free episodes. But for everybody else, here's some advertising down your gullet.
Last time I heard of Coles. I hope it's a Coles again.
Well, it's targeted to the listener, so if you're hearing Coles ads, that's what the algorithm thinks of you.
Oh, I get Coles?
All my ads are for candy.
Hey, do you love the Grolic Saves the World, but are sad because you're not getting enough of it?
Boy, do I.
Well, great news. You can get all sorts of bonus content on our Patreon.
Like what?
Tell them, Ben.
Act 4, ad-free episodes, birthday shoutouts, exclusive merch, stronger, more painful erections, our pod within a pod, boy crazy, decreased A1C levels, photos and videos, bonus content, and so much more.
Okay, I'll do it.
No, kick to me. Say, how do I do it? How do I sign up?
We're not trying to sell it to you, Andrew. You don't have to. Jesus.
Oh, well, I mean, it sounded good. Okay, how do I sign up then?
Fuck it.
You can sign up now by visiting patreon.com/Grolic Saves.
I do want to sign up.
Hey, and we are back. It's Act 2. Dude, I'm in a mood. Stop it.
No, you're
Stop
not in
I
a
thought you were
mood.
gonna
You're
shake-
in
in
the
the-
fucking nickels.
No,
You're
I
shake the
didn't.
nickels.
You're surfing the edibles wave, dude. That's what they
No.
call it down at the station.
Nar, 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 nar. If you missed the first act, if you're just a second actor, which they're very rare,
Very
we
rare.
don't find
Very
them
rare.
all that often. We had some pretty incredible riffs that you missed. We've already spent quite a bit of time in Riff City. And then we discussed a letter that we got from an anonymous listener who was basically just asking, they were saying that they work with they're a perfectionist and they work with another person, different personality type, somebody that they most of the time put out good work, but sometimes there's been some friction. And so they were asking us how we get by, seeing as how we're all so different. And they had
A good relationship in a creative field. Good working relationship.
And it said, basically asking us obstacles we've overcome. I'll read the last part. I'm curious how you guys have made it work as long as you have, the obstacles you've had to overcome in your working relationship, and how the dynamic continues to evolve between the three of you. In other words, how do you have a good working relationship in a creative field?
And I'll say, of all the letters we've had, we like to say that we're experts in everything, basically doctors, that we can address any issue. But of all the letters that we've received, I would say that this is perhaps to date the most actually dialed in to something we could give great advice for.
Yeah,
because we
I
have
think
worked
we're
together
like
creatively
sheriffs
for 20
about this
for
one.
20 years. So
Yeah, we're
Um,
like sheriff doctors.
Oh, I would pitch. Let's pitch
wow.
that. When this is
Can
done,
we
let's
pitch
that.
this tomorrow
Yeah.
at CBS?
Well, let's
That's
get
as good an idea as Malcolm and I came up with a show, Dinosaur Police.
Ooh.
And these are both
I like
very
it.
good.
Do you know how
Okay.
fast you
Very
were
good
going?
shows.
2 miles an hour. Get the fuck over here.
No. Hit me. Ask me that question. You just asked me how fast I was going.
Do you know how fast you were going? I'm a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Dinosaur Police.
This podcast is brought to you by Wild Brand Edibles. Pomegranate, sour pomegranate.
They don't make a
THC
sour
edibles,
pomegranate, you
whatever.
fucking dipshit.
Oh yeah. Why don't you
well,
fact
who wants
check
to go
it,
first?
motherfucker?
Andrew won last time. Andrew won the last advice episode. So by law, he has to go last.
I
That
love
is
when
the-
Andrew calls me a motherfucker. It never sounds natural, but I like it. It's like it feels weird. But who went last time?
Andrew is going last in this episode because he won last time. So
Okay.
his advice will be last. He will have the benefit of listening to Ben and Mai's advice and tweaking it, perfecting
The
it, coming up
benefit.
with
You
things.
can put that in
besides it.
quotes, Ron,
Why would you say Ben and Mai's advice and not our advice?
because you're
Because
not
it's
giving
a
advice
competition.
together. You're giving advice separately.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it's
Yeah.
our collective advice. It just seems stupid for somebody who claims to
it's
be. a
not
writer.
our collective advice. He's judging.
No, I
yours
just think it
versus
sounds
mine.
stupid. What is the word "Mai's"? No one says Ben and Mai's advice.
You
You're a
think
writer.
things sound stupid today. You think that things sound stupid.
I mean, to be
You
fair,
have that ability.
if Ben caught it, it probably did sound stupid.
Yeah, dude, I only catch the big particles. All the little stuff flies right by me.
You know what, Ben? I think your attitude stinks.
Okay, so who's gonna? Is it my turn or is it yours turns? Adam,
Good.
who's goes
It's good.
first?
Why don't you blame your lisp for a personality flaw again?
Oh, I can pick because I've lost twice. Ron just put in a new bylaw rule here because we're writing the book as we go on this competitive advice terrain. So, Adam, let that bitch go first. That's from
Oh,
8
shit,
Mile.
You're 8 miling me?
Yeah, dude.
You're 8 miling me?
Yeah,
All
because
right.
you think you've come into the top 3, the top 2 each time. So you get to choose this time.
Great. Yes.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that. Don't. All right.
Andrew was right. We are Dr. Sheriffs when it comes to this specific
Actually,
question.
I said it, you fucking asshole. That was my sheriff doctor. I said that. Andrew didn't.
I guess I'm not allowed to
It's
talk
riff
today. I guess
erasure.
that's what's going
That's
on in Act
riff
2. I guess
erasure.
No, you
I
can
guess that's
talk,
what's going
but you
on.
got to get shit right. If we're playing this game, don't fucking take my ideas and sign them. Just go. Just
Yep.
go.
This is unreal. I don't know. I don't know how the answer to this question because I hate working with Ben.
All right, go ahead, Adam.
So working on those who can't is when our working relationship was probably the most under a microscope, when it was the most tense, when we had the most friction between each other, just because it was such a hard job and it was so long and it was so constant that naturally things came up. And I guess there were 2 things that really helped, but I don't think he's going to be able to use one of them because he says a partnership. Really, the key to the Grolix is that there's 3 of us and that there's 2/3 majority vote. I mean, like, it really helps to have a trio. And whenever there's just a thing you can't get past, be like, well, then let's fucking vote. And I remember we would do that a lot in the writer's room, where it's like someone would have an idea, somebody would disagree. And even though we had other writers who we very much respected, it was at the end of the day our show. And so if it ever got to a sort of like, well, here's the line in the sand, Ben, Adam, Andrew, fucking vote. And that really is a way to just get it done. So to this person, I mean, it's a partnership, but if there's a producer or a third person that you trust as much in this creative endeavor, I would sort of say it really helps when you have a sort of, you can't get past something, have somebody else weigh in. A third and final, a voting system that's just undeniable will really silence a lot of problems. But I think another thing, can I do another thing? Because that's for specific to us, right?
Sure. I don't care. Andrew, what do you think?
I mean, sure. Just cover all the points. No, I'm fine.
Yeah, well, you're last, so that is what happens. That's what that's the handicap
exactly,
that you have.
Andrew, so shut your fucking dumb mouth. You already won
I
one.
think with any creative working relationship, things really boil up if they are not talked about. So you got to bring it out into the light. Like if you're having a problem with this person because of X, Y, and Z, then eventually you're going to have to talk about X, Y, and Z. And if you don't, these things that are small can become huge. So we don't even do it enough, but every once in a while we will have like a sort of, let's the 3 of us, especially during those who can't, let's the 3 of us get a meal and like talk about shit, or let's have a sort of relationship check-in and just sort of remember we're all friends, everything's great. Let's anything going on. It's almost like therapy for a group. And I've heard of bands doing this, and I think it's very, very healthy in a creative partnership to occasionally stop doing the creative thing and have a meeting where you talk about how everything's going. I think that can get you very, very far. And it's probably true of any relationship. If you just stop being in it and examine it for a little bit, it will help fix a lot of problems. Like, remember those who can't, when we would, these are some micro examples, but like, we are always wired for sound. So we had little leg packs with sound. They could hear everything we were saying.
Yep.
And that every once in a while, the 3 of us would get together on set and we would unplug our sound packs and we would just have a talk, just the 3 of us. And usually it was about the shoot, about an issue. But I remember those being so fucking effective, and there was nobody else.
Yeah,
and
it
just
created
3 of us.
a unified front, which was
Absolutely.
hard sometimes on that because, and I'm not saying there was any concerted effort from anybody necessarily. I don't know that it was there was some nefarious plot behind our back, but at times it did feel as if there was, if you could divide the three of us in our thinking on something, then you could get an idea through. Like if
For
you got
sure.
one
Oh
of those-
yeah, and there were absolutely little games being played, Machiavellian strings going on behind the scenes, and so yeah, those meetings
Yeah,
were
who to hire, who to executive producers with different agendas, managers, agents who have clients and want them on the show. There was always people coming in with all the things they wanted to make for the show. So when the three of us could unplug and talk just three of us, that really was in a way what I'm talking about, examining the working relationship with none of the noise outside of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good advice. I mean, it's not what I would have said.
Right, because I said it.
yeah, and
No,
now
just
it's your
because
turn,
I'm
and now
mostly
you really
Now it's
say
your
it.
turn.
I'm mostly into answering the questions that the person asked when these come up. So,
Oh, okay. Then I guess the answer is take a walk with Andrew and talk about Ben.
oh, wow. So you just totally reversed your position on this because
When it gets to a breaking point, take a walk with Andrew and talk about Ben.
you're stubborn fucking bastard. Did you guys go on a lot of walks without me? Can I ask that?
You'll never know.
I wouldn't be surprised. I know that there are side conversations that happen between everybody in this group. I've seen screenshots. I've looked at your phones when you're in the shower. I have. Don't think I don't know your passwords and I don't look at your phone when you're in the shower.
I've had conversations with
So
you about
creepy.
Andrew. I've had conversations with Andrew about Ben. It's totally.
But the point
normal
is
and
that
fine.
I do most of mine while you guys are showering.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good points you're making.
Ben,
today.
I'm gonna need my spare
being-
key back from you.
I'm sorry.
Can I get my spare key back?
I'm sorry. I came into the comedy podcast with my comedy suit on. I wasn't wearing my.
For you listening, Ben is wearing a sweatshirt that says comedy on it right now.
He really is. He really is.
He truly is.
How else would they know?
He truly
I came
is
into this
wearing
with my comedy
his
suit on. I
comedy
didn't come in with my serious suit on. I didn't come in looking like I'm ready to be a pallbearer at someone's funeral.
I'm sorry, Sirius XM gave me a suit and you didn't get one.
Oh my God!
But if you had a
Could
suit
you
that's
imagine a
nice,
satellite network called Sirius XM and it's all just
It is
heavy
It
topics?
is serious.
Yeah, this is so serious. No, good advice. I think the creating a unified front is a good one. I interpreted these questions as a bit different, but I agree with Adam's advice. My advice, because he asked like, how do you overcome obstacles of working relationships, and how does the relationship between all of you continue to evolve? And how do we, first of all, I appreciate the assumption that this person thinks we have a good working relationship. As you have seen from the show today, I find it to be quite tense. And I find it to be laced with several different types of jealousy. I do. Adam has a little bit of a jealousy towards me and my body and my physical abilities.
yeah, it's a physical jealousy that I have.
He's mad at how tall I sprouted up to be, given that I was such a
Sure,
short middle
yes.
schooler.
Yeah, that's correct.
So,
Yep.
yeah, I can sense it all. Andrew is jealous of my writing. He's always been jealous of my lyrics and
Sure.
my writing, and he sips his water pensively right now, and he's trying to act stoic, but I think that the key to work, and no one talks about Ron. Let's not talk about him. Let's not even.
Let's not
bring
even
him
talk
up.
about. Let's not talk about the Ron problem.
The
Let's
Ron
not talk
problem is
about the
a whole
Ron in
separate
the
thing.
room.
No, I think here's what I believe as to why we have lasted this long and how we made it through. And I agree with Adam. I think the television show, and rightfully so, was the most stressful point that our working relationship had been through. I know it's not going to come as a shock to our listeners, and I don't think to Adam and Andrew. I was a little bit of a pain during parts of some seasons because of just my own mental health issues. And there was a lot of stress. And there was a lot of trying to divide, I think, us. I think what I learned is that you're talking, this person writing in is talking about their partner and how they do create some things, but they have different personality types. What I always have to remember when I don't agree, I always have to remember that Adam and Andrew are generally making their decisions and trying to push their ideas and their choices through because they too want what's best for whatever project we're working on. And I trust both of them implicit. There is no question that I trust you guys without question that you wanted what was best for those who can't, what was funniest. You wanted what was best for the project and would make it the most successful. And I also trust that you guys within that want to preserve our friendship as well. Like, we joke a lot on this podcast and make fun of each other a lot, but deep down, I know that there have been times where we got into arguments and sometimes we just gave in because we realized it's not worth napalming a friendship of this long and a working relationship that had got us that far. You know, we've been able to do all the stuff we had done because we stuck together. And so knowing that you're not going to win every battle, there are some hills that are worth dying on for sure. But you definitely have to pick and choose your battles. And remembering when I do lose a battle, when they go 2-on-1, when they vote and I lost that one, I have to remind myself, as frustrated as I am, that's my ego, and to trust these two, and they want what's best for the product too, and just trust these two, except Andrew. I want to be clear that when I'm saying all of this too, I am excluding Andrew from this because I believe, and I think Adam can attest to this, that Andrew has tried at every turn to sabotage everything we have done. We have done this.
I'm just saying, Those Who Can't would have been an amazing multicam sitcom. There was no reason we couldn't have been a multicam laugh track sitcom.
I'm telling you, Andrew, that shit was whack. It's always been whack. And I don't know why you keep trying to bring it in. I think Adam and I had the right idea on that. And thank God we outvoted you on that. But
I haven't. That made me think of another thing. That was very good advice. And I want to think of another thing. And I don't even care if Andrew has to sit there and just wait.
No, dude, I'm in thrall. I'm in thrall. Go ahead.
Really? Oh, really? Well, this is
specific
sit
here
to the
and
letter.
listen to my advice. Okay,
My advice.
Mize, please
Look,
go.
this guy said in his letter he's a type A perfectionist and his partner is vastly more a seat of the pants, wing it type of dude. So they're different approaches to the work between this guy and his partner. And I remember it took us till season 3 to recognize that we all have different approaches to writing. And that's when we decided to break up the writer's room into, like, you know what? We're effective from 10 to 2. We don't have to drag it out till 6 pretending that we're working. And also we learned Ben is a night writer. So we're like trying to have him come in to have these office hours because we thought that's how you run a writer's room. And we would often, Ben would come in the next day with the problem that we'd had all day solved just because he thinks better that way. And so when we learned season 3 that, like, okay, well, shit, I'm going to be really effective from these couple hours. Ben, do your thing that hour. It just made so much more sense. So I guess,
my God, that
everything
is
ran
such
smoother.
That style of doing it, and I think season 3 is the best season we wrote of that show. Like, I think we hit a stride. We were coming up. I had fun. That sounds terrible to say. Like, that's the first season I actually had a really good time. Like, I was hoping for a season 4 by that because I was like, I think we got it now. Like, we understood the other part we did with relation to that was oftentimes there was this feeling, I know through season 1 and 2, that we had to be on set the whole time and everything. And I learned by season 3, it's okay to trust the pieces that we put in place. And if that was, one of us would stay around while the other two could go
Yeah.
or whatever.
And we had a
discovered-
showrunner whose whole job it was to be doing that. So yeah,
Yeah.
you just have to hope that
they have the
Yeah.
best. So like knowing that the pieces are in place, that's a great point, because I do think like figuring out how to work with with the way each other works. Just remembering we're all going to do the work. Like we all will do the fucking work. I trust you guys will. Like I know you will. So
yeah.
I feel I want to answer the last one, because how do I think our dynamic continues to evolve is a fun question. I think that Adam continually surpasses his ability to get petty. He every time I'm like, oh, this is the peak pettiness towards me, and then he ups it and he goes beyond that, and I'm always surprised at how jealous and petty he gets of my physical attributes and how tall I am and like how much faster I move than him. And then I think that Adam, shut up. I can see you want to speak.
Sorry.
No. And I think that Andrew is just becoming quieter.
You're welcome.
No,
it's my gift to you. My silence is the gift to you.
We should answer that question, since it's not really advice at the end. How do we think we evolve?
How do we think we
Oh,
evolve?
you already sort of answered it stupidly.
Well,
Andrew, it is your turn.
It is my turn, and even though Adam went
advice.
twice and it bled into what I was going to say, I'm going to say it anyway. I will say appreciate your differences, because as you can obviously this listener can identify their differences. They can recognize how they're different. Instead of seeing those differences like, oh, I'm up against this difference all the time. Oh, this is like abrasive. Think of how your differences sharpen each other, how they might work to create the dynamic that works for you. Because I know that Ben, Adam, and myself, we are all different. We have plenty of similarities, but we also have plenty of differences, both in personality types, interests, work habits, things like that.
Success levels.
all different.
See? And my pettiness rant seemed out of place to some of you until now. Until
It's like Adam is just up there.
Dumb, ugly.
He's just up there in his parapet, and he just threw like a rock at my head, and it struck me in the eye. But I'm going to stand here and still deliver
How
my
do you
advice.
think I got into the parapet? Shit like that.
The parapet of pettiness, we call it.
Pettiness parapet.
But I would say, you recognize these differences, but maybe realize that they are creating a dynamic that is working for you. I would assume that this listener has a working relationship that is on some level successful because they want to keep it going. It's like if you were just starting your working relationship with someone and you had all these differences that were creating a problem, you might bail on it. But if it's working, then look at that and maybe recognize that. Because we've been asked this question quite a bit when we were doing press for our TV show, things like that. Like, how do you guys work together? Or how do you do this? And I would often cite our differences as that. Our differences are what kind of, if we were all the same or we were too much the same, I don't think we would have the same dynamic. I don't think our group would be as interesting as it is. And I don't think that we would have the same kind of reach with fans, because as we talk to fans, there are fans of Ben, there are fans of Adam, there are fans of me, but they also like the group as a whole, and those differences are what give you that strength. So your
It's like the Beatles, dude.
co-creator might be like a seat of the pants, wing it type of dude, and you're the type A perfectionist.
Beatles.
But those two things,
We're the fucking Beatles.
those two
We're the
things,
We're the fucking Beatles.
those two
man.
things complement each other. If you were both seat of your pants, wing it dudes, or both perfectionist type A dudes, it might not have the same dynamic. It might seem like too much of that thing. So my advice would be to appreciate those differences and maybe recognize the ways that those are strengthening your creative relationship. And if there are things that are annoying you that can be addressed in a conversation, you can also try to mitigate the parts of those differences that are maybe making it difficult to actually work with them.
We're the fucking Beatles, Adam. I mean, he just
Yeah.
blew right by that while he was talking, but we are the
Yep.
Beatles. Look, I'm John Lennon. Okay. Clearly. You're definitely Paul McCartney. And then Andrew is definitely
Andrew's
George
Yoko.
Harrison. No, he's
Andrew's
George
Yoko.
Harrison. He's George Harrison. And then, of course, fucking Ron is Ringo. You know what I mean? Like, he's just stomping the beat down. He's probably the most like emotionally stable out of all of us, but who fucking cares? It's the three
I
of us.
watched that Beatles thing during the pandemic on Apple, and Ringo was cool as fuck.
He was the
just
best.
like he was going between all of them. He was the only one with like a sense of humor the whole time. Like Ringo, everybody liked Ringo. It was crazy. I never really gave him much attention, but he was like, you could see his sense of humor kept those guys together.
Exactly. And then I think like Andrew writes the silent hits. He's a little quieter in the background, but he's always writing the hits. Like people don't know, like the Fairbelt tape, that was Andrew Orvidal's idea. That was an Orvidal idea right there, and he sat silently. He didn't take any of the credit while we just walked all over him. And
I told
surfed
everyone I
on
did
it.
that.
Are you kidding? I've told everybody we did that. It was mine and you's idea, and
Yeah,
so
and
it
not
was
even
Hughes and
Andrew wasn't even
mine,
involved.
and it wasn't even
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
And
Nice, nice.
so, and I'm clearly the one that's like principled and probably wrote more of the hits on my own. You know what I mean? Like I definitely had a career outside of that, and I'll probably be killed by a fan. So I think that's that's
Yeah, if we're getting down to it.
now before we get to judging who won that one, because these are all great. I think we all crushed it. I think we came heartfelt and we tried to keep it honest.
You're lobbying the jury. I can see it. I can feel it.
Well, I think we did try to keep it heartfelt. I think I kept it very heartfelt. But this person did ask, how do we feel that our working relationship has evolved over the years? So let's just answer that. Go around round robin real quick. How do we feel it has evolved over the years? Adam, what do you think?
It's gotten less successful.
Great. And I will.
I think that we've definitely changed it as people, but in that we've also become like wiser and more patient, and we've learned things like, oh, okay, this is this person's strength, this is this person's strength, let's delegate it to the person who's best at it. And that just comes with time and experience and wanting wanting the working relationship to work. So I think that's probably the biggest way we've evolved.
Yeah, I think when we started, we were three guys sitting on a blanket at night looking up at one moon. And then over time, we've realized we can be in our own offices, staring up at the bulb on our own desk lamps,
Exactly.
looking at three different moons.
There you
No,
go.
exactly.
There you go.
No, I think obviously the pressure is less now because we don't have a show, and maybe we will someday, and we'll be working together in that intense environment again, and I hope so. But I think what's cool about having worked with these dudes for so long is now we really are like, if it's not fun, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
If it gives us headaches, we don't want to fucking do this. So it's kind of just like a lot of people were surprised when the show ended and then we like started a podcast and we continued to do our live show. And it's like, you'd think you'd be sick of these people. And we've always been really proud that we're like, no, I love working with these people.
Yeah,
and if
still
anything,
like
now
you
it's more
fucking idiots.
it's more fluid and it's more like, I don't want to do that. Okay, then let's not fucking do that, because it's just got to be a pleasure to do. And I think if it's not, then you don't really want to do that thing.
Yeah,
and that is the luxury that we have as we do these projects like the live show and this podcast, where no one's telling us what to do. It's just us three. So why, and Ron chiming in as well, why would we do anything that bothers us or annoys us or is not in our nature and it doesn't seem fun?
Yeah, I think after going through all the processes and experiences that we have, it really, I don't know. It's never what you think it was going to be. And it's weird afterwards coming down from that. And that's the part I think is that we all shared in an experience like that. And so we all get to, like, we all can relate on that, and also relate, like, being happy is important now. And that's, I think, with the Grawlix live show, like, coming back to that and doing this podcast, it was more about, like, how do we make things that are fun and happy and make other people happy? And, you know, because right now that's not what's popular. We're kind of going against the grain, dudes. We're kind of doing something sincere,
positive and kind, and that ain't cool.
Yeah.
But we have to get to our competitiveness and
Yes.
Let's
what our exact
recap. You
advice
got to
is.
recap your
Let's
advice
recap.
in one sentence.
All right.
And Andrew, I'll go first, and I'll throw you a fucking bone because I did go with 2. So, and yours and my second one and yours kind of dovetailed. So I will go with my first one, which essentially is bring the working relationship into the light. Have conversations specifically about the working relationship. And if it's like if it's bad and you really, then do it regularly. Once a month, let's talk about how to make this product better, how we can work better. But like a therapy session simply about the work that you're doing and how you're relating to do this work can be so fucking helpful. And it might be awkward to propose, but once you propose it, both of you will be so much happier that you did, and that you can now talk about how to function more effectively.
Okay, that was a long
Bring it into the
sentence,
light.
but I guess
Bring it
with
into
all
the
the
light.
commas and
There
semicolons,
were
it works.
commas, there were ellipses.
There were-
it all checks out.
There were dashes.
Semicolons.
All right, Ben.
3 semicolons.
Ben, one sentence recap.
Mine was trust your partner. Trust your partner's intentions.
Sexually.
Sexually. Thank you.
I don't
was
even
gonna
have
add
a
it.
safe word, you say, as you're led blindfolded
Trust
into the
your-
bedroom.
I want to reiterate.
It's Tulsa, Oklahoma.
This person said,
Tulsa,
and I'm
Oklahoma.
just
Tulsa.
I'm appealing to the
Tulsa,
jury.
Tulsa.
This person said they produce quality content together. So trust your partner's intentions and trust that they want what's best for what you both are doing.
Great. And mine is appreciate your differences. Differences between people make for stronger output. That diversity is great for creative output, even if it might at times cause little wrinkles and hiccups along the way. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the relationship into the light. Trust that the person has your good intentions in mind with Ben, and Andrew is appreciate the differences.
All right, it's voting
Now,
time.
I do want to say mine is the only active thing you can do. Yours are both like mindset shifts that are kind of harder to pull off. Mine is a tangible schedule a time to talk about
Adam,
your work.
what the
I just
fuck
want to say
are
that.
you doing?
I just want to
You
say
just said that.
Mine is a thing.
Arguments are
Mine is a thing
closed.
they can do.
It's
Mine is a
vote.
thing they
It's
can
voting
actually do.
time. It's
Your
voting
guys'
time.
are
No,
like,
no,
change your
Andrew,
Shift your thinking. Like, that's so easy.
Point
Just
of
shift your
parliamentary
thinking, bro.
procedure here,
Come on.
Adam. You continue to talk to the jury. And
I'll talk to the media after this.
Ron, I would request a gag order on the on council.
Ron just shoves a popsicle into my mouth.
All right.
All right, we can't
let's
vote. You can't vote for yourself.
Nope. And in the event of everybody voting for each other, we will lower the blast shield and raise the chamber from the depths of the ocean with Ron in it to decide. But hopefully it doesn't get to that point, because we'd hate to keep putting the crane under that kind of stress. But all right, Andrew, who's your vote? Come on.
Oh gosh, I got to go first in voting. I'm voting Ben.
Not a surprise, at least not to the listeners. Let me see. I am voting Andrew, because I really do think, and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I really do believe that Andrew has the best intentions for this podcast in mind. You see what I did there, guys? I'm using my own advice to show how effective it is when voting. And I believe, even though I don't like his advice, I think he has the best.
And I
intentions in
appreciate
mind.
that difference, that Ben would be so pandering,
right.
even in the midst of what should just be an efficient vote. But he's still, he's adding his own seasoning.
Well, if Adam can do it, I can
his
do it.
heavy-handed seasoning to this voting process.
Cumin.
I can
It's called
appreciate it.
cumin. Andrew, thank you. But now that you've created this, Adam is just going to vote for you. Adam, go ahead.
I'm not.
Adam hates
I
me.
want to give you a win, Ben, because I want things to even up, and I want you to believe that I value your advice. But I just think, no, it's like you say. No, listen, this is from a real place. You think that know that they have your best interest in mind, right? That's Grolic specific. Like, we've worked together for so many years. We do
No, it does
know
not.
that.
It is not. Just hear
We
me
don't-
out.
we don't know this guy's scenario.
He says they both create good content together. He just doesn't like his methods because he's type
Okay.
A and this guy's a little more loosey-goosey. Just trust
We don't know
it.
how long they've been doing it. We don't know what they've been through.
Wow.
We don't know.
Wow.
Whereas whether they have the best intentions or not. Maybe they were paired together.
I come
don't
in here,
fucking
I
know.
give my fucking heart on
But
this.
and this is true, but appreciating another person's differences has nothing to do with intention and blah 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 blah. So I do find it to be a little bit better advice, even though mine was the only one that was actionable. So I guess reluctantly, Andrew, congrats on appreciating differences.
You are
or whatever
so-
the fuck that
You
is.
two are so fucking...
Current champion of advice on Grolic Saves the World.
You're so fucking stupid, Adam.
Top,
Do you know what
top
you've
of the
done?
division.
I know what you've
explained
done.
Top of the
explained why
division.
Andrews.
You've
I
upset
explained why Andrews
the
was better,
climate of
and it
Riff
makes
City.
sense.
Now it's going to rain when it should be during the dry season of Riff City. You know it. It's going to
no.
be wet, and then it's
Well,
going
then
to.
the floods.
Oh my God! You fucked up.
Oh,
You
boy.
can't. You know what it is? You've told me in our separate
Hmm.
text threads that we
Yeah.
have without Andrew
Yes.
that you feel bad for him. You've said it before. You feel bad for it. You feel bad for him, and I.
Oh,
can't
I
help.
feel bad for me too for winning 2 more than your 0. You're the Colorado Rockies of giving advice. So there.
Oh, okay. You mean having fun,
Yeah.
as Adam has pointed out?
having
We're
a great
good
time.
Hey, they're having a good time.
Having a good time.
Hey, I want to thank our letter writer. That I hope that helped. And listen, you can do what you want. Just because Andrew won doesn't mean you have to take that advice. There's other actionable advice out here. And just remember that.
I
The important
I want
thing
you-
is that our working relationship is stronger than ever.
well, that was fun. Yeah, as Adam said, big thank you. Well, let's take a quick break. Let's cleanse our palate with some live stand-up comedy. Of course, the Grolics live show has been crazy lately. We've gone old school on these shows. They've just been fucking good times, great comics, like the packed room. We were talking about like going back to what we originally did. This is what it's been. This show has just been, and it's coming up last Saturday of this month. So get your tickets now. And they're always on sale. And why don't we show a working duo themselves? 2 people who have brought something together. I'm sure they're different types of people as well, but they've made a product that's great. Our good friends from Atlanta, Georgia that were on the show, Good Cop, Rad Cop. Enjoy this clip from these wonderful musical comedians. And when we return, third actors, you're on deck. Holy crap. This way, you've been hitting that plus 15 all the way across, skipping like a stone to get to the shoreline of Act 3, and you've made it. So stay tuned.
Stick around.
All right. You guys like punk rock in here? All right, fuck yeah. All right, our first song we're going to do is a punk rock song. So when we say punk rock, you say punk rock. Punk rock? Punk rock? All right, doing what you're told. That's so punk of you.
Everything is punk rock. Everything is
Punk rock.
great. Everything is nice. Everything is all right. Giving people groceries. Working at a theater. Smoking with your manager. Waving at the cops. No.
What
Pay
the fuck?
attention. We flew here, man.
Yeah, y'all are a bunch of posers. All right.
Maybe not everything is punk rock. 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 Geppetto from Pinocchio. Yes.
Predatory Lindy.
No. God damn it.
Who fucking? What is your HOA like? All right. All right. The next one's an easy one, poser. All right. The
Alien from Alien. Yeah, 0% APR.
Fuck yeah.
Hi.
The homeowner got that one.
Barely even anything is punk rock. 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 Staring at stalagmites. Yeah.
Staring at stalactites.
No. That's a hard one.
It's a rock hard one, actually.
Come on now.
A little rock humor. All right.
Touching the stalactites.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
Punk as fuck. Yeah.
It's against the rules. It's very naughty. Living in a cave. Living in a cave.
Oh, shut up. He just quit smoking. Which is not punk rock, actually.
Living in a cave is amongst rocks. 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 Mowing lawns in the hot sun. I fought my dad and my dad won. I fought my dad and my dad won. He gave me money and I bought drugs. I fought my dad and my dad won. I fought my dad and my dad won. I call him Papa and he calls me son. I fought my dad and my dad won. I fought my dad and my dad won.
Hello and welcome to the third act. Third actor is lovely to see you. Thanks for joining us after a killer episode. But listen, I want to thank, before I get into it, I want to thank the listener that sent that letter. That was really a good talk, and I appreciate it. So we always appreciate your letters. Keep sending them, and we hope that it helped. It is time for good news. And
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I actually have some great news. Andrew is not here
I
for
know.
the third act.
Oh my God. And I tell you what, it's as if we're free to soar. You
Yeah,
know,
I
no
feel
one is
very
there
light.
clipping our wings.
No,
you know?
no, there's a weight's been lifted, an Andrew-sized weight.
It is. And we don't know where he is.
Nope.
We should
Nope.
probably say that.
We don't know
And-
when he'll be back.
And we don't care.
Exactly.
It just, the whole thing just moves a lot smoother, and I think there's more grease in the wheels. So you're right. Finally, some good fucking news.
But it does mean that there's a hole in the third act because Andrew did the plug song. But I've heard, or I guess I've heard because you've been telling me repeatedly, often, you would like a crack at the plug song. You think
well,
you have a take
I mean,
on
me
it.
being the de facto gifted musician of the group, and
ipso facto ad nauseum.
yes, and namo Patre a Spiritus Sancto.
Right.
And I don't know how you say any of that. That's just my best mimicking of it.
I think it
from
checks
Catholic
out.
Church.
I think it's good.
Which, you know, I went to a lot of Catholic church, but I would love to take a crack at this. Producer Ron, could you use some of that podcast magic to take me to St. Peter's Basilica? Here we go.
Ugh, that's like now nobody wants to come to this shit. They're just like asleep or dead or married or baptized or one of them.
Yes, it's somber, but isn't it us out there being martyrs for our causes?
Ben, where are you performing next?
I'll be in beautiful Tucson, Arizona at Laughs Comedy Cafe. I'll be there. Actually, if you're listening to this when the episode comes out, it'll be this Friday and Saturday. That is May 31st and June 1st. You can visit the website to get tickets. Please come out and see me and say hello. Adam, what do you got?
I'm going to the great city of Minneapolis, June 7th and 8th. I will be performing at Sisyphus Brewing. I'm very excited. Yeah, I hear good things about the room, and I haven't been to Minneapolis in a long time. I love that city. I'm excited to tell jokes and hang out in Minneapolis, so come on out. And I hope to see some of you Grawlix listeners there.
Oh, crap.
What?
Producer Ron just hit me on my SkyTel pager he gave me. And with the 911 code, as you know, he does.
That is an emergency.
And he said that Andrew pre-recorded his plugs. So
gross, desperate, pathetic.
It is desperate, but we have to play it as he does hold a third of the lien on Grawlix Holdings. So
play Andrew's plugs, I guess. Play it. Whatever.
Hey, it's Andrew. I have a plug. Check this out. June 16th, I'm going to be headlining the Downtown Comedy Works Club, the best club in town. Come down and catch my headlining set. If you want half-price tickets, guess what? There's a promo code. It's the name of the character I played on Those Who Can't. Yeah, I have to make it cryptic because they're worried about bots stealing promo codes. Real life stuff. Real life. Catch me June 16th at the Downtown Comedy Works.
So there's that. And you could go to those things as well. All killer options. Ben in Tucson, me in Minneapolis, and Andrew doing whatever the fuck I just tuned out. I didn't even listen to it. So I have no idea.
Also, Adam, don't forget the most important part, the comedy foie gras, fattened goose liver, that is the Grawlix live show that happens the last Saturday of every month at the now designated world famous Bug Theater. June 29th, we have Ahmed Barucha. No, wait. Let me take another run at it. June 29th, amazing show. We have Ahmed Barucha. That show is going to be lights out.
Yes.
With the angry tabby cat, Brian Cook.
I heard he was dead. He's on the show? Holy shit.
No, he's back. He's back because there's soap opera type shit that he's doing. Anyway. And then Morgan Gallo, also a crusher. That show is going to be huge.
June 29th. Get tickets now. That is a banger show for sure. So we can't wait to see you there. Quick credits. Let's do it. I'll do the first one. You do the second one. We just go back and forth.
Okay.
Let's go. And let's do it fast. Let's dial it in. Thanks to producer Ron Doyle.
Hey, thanks to Mike Henderson for your help recording at the live show.
Theme music's provided by Charlie Continental.
You can follow us on social media at Grawlix Comedy.
Support us and get ad-free episodes and other perks on Patreon. Patreon.com/GrawlixSaves.
Sign up for that Patreon. We're doing a lot there. We're having a lot of fun, folks. Get on that Patreon. Next episode, I think we should have a guest.
I
think so.
I'm tired of you and I'm tired of Andrew. Let's get a guest.
What are we going to do? I think we should pick up a friend of ours, rhymes with looks feeling.
Oh, it's Carrot Top, isn't it?
It's not Carrot Top, dude.
It's
that doesn't even come
the
close.
top. We got him. We got him, and he'll be back next Tuesday with us.
It feels so weird to call him the top.
The top. He's like, honestly,
Mr. Top.
He's a power top.
Sloppy top.
He's a sloppy top. He's my favorite top. He tops out. Carrot Top will be. He tops out top of the ladder.
Don't ever stop.
Top of the pops.
Keep going.
Top of the morning.
Play us out, Charlie.